to WKZ News. I'm your news anchor, Kayla Nation, and today our top stories are about new train stations, Apple software hacks, and new frozen merchandise at your local Disney store. And now off to Sarah M. with our local news.
Thanks, Kaylin. And now for our local news. The Sunrail commuter train will be opening in 6 weeks. The train will be running in downtown Orlando Link Station from 5:45 a.m. to 9:26 p.m. with half-hour stops during peak hours and 2-hour stops during the regular days of the week. The train will run a 31.5-mile system with 12 stops along the way. If you'd like to check out the schedule, go online to the Orlando Sentinel. In other local news, deputies say that a teen couple that had plotted to kill a girl's parents are now in juvenile detention. The two had been forbidden to see each other by the girl's parents and went after the girl's mother and father in order to stop them from preventing their relationship. The 15-year-old boy slit the mother's throat until the father pleaded the kids to turn themselves in and bring the mother to the emergency room. Now, each of them have been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit murder, and one of them was attempted murder. Thanks. And now we're off to Carmen for national news.
On Saturday, March 8, 2014, a plane on the route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 passengers vanished. 40 ships and more than 20 airplanes were searching all Sunday, but sadly by nightfall, Malaysian authorities said nothing was found. Interpol reported that 2 passengers on the plane used stolen passports to board. It is unknown if they are the cause for the plane going missing, but it is of a great concern that they were able to board the plane with stolen passports. Indonesia, Thailand, and the U.S. and many other countries are on the search of these planes. As the search for the aircraft continues, the head of the Malaysian Air Force told in a news conference that the military radar indicated the jet may have turned back from its plane route. If so, the plane would have had to contact the airport, but unfortunately no news has been said about this. Indonesia, China, Europe, and many other countries are helping with the search of the aircraft. As the story grows, we will try and keep everyone informed on what happened to all these passengers. Many wishes from all of us here at the Newscast.
Thank you, Carmen. Apple security allows hackers to beat encryption. A major flaw in Apple Incorporated software for mobile devices could allow hackers to intercept email and other communication that are meant to be encrypted and private. The company said Mac computers were even more exposed. If attackers have access to mobile users' networks by sharing the same unsecured wireless services, they could see or alter exchanges between the user and the protected sites. It is as bad as you can imagine, and that's all I can say, says Johns Hopkins University cryptography professor Matthew Green. Apple did not say when or how they learned about the flaw, nor did they say whether the flaw would be exploited. But the statement on the support website was blunt. The software failed to validate the authenticity of connection. Apple released software patches to update for the current versions of the iPhone 4 and later, 5th generation iPod Touches, and the Apple iPad 2 and later. Without the fix, hackers could impersonate protected sites and sit in the middle of an email or financial data going between the user and the site. After analyzing the patch, several security researchers said the flaw existed in current versions of Mac OS X, running Apple laptops and or desktop computers. No patch is available yet or operating in the system, though one is expected soon. Because spies and hackers will be studying this patch as well, they can develop program advantages within days or even hours before Apple can get to the problem. The violence intensifies in Venezuela amid month-long anti-government protests. They are demanding attention over the instability in the oil-rich nation, but Venezuelan neighbors reject to interfere in the domestic unrest. At least 21 people have died and hundreds more have been wounded in protests against the government of President Nicolas Maduro. Protesters say they are exercising the legitimate right to voice their opinions. Observers are asking if it's time for the international community to unite, encouraging concrete steps towards the calm in Venezuela. The handful of countries that have spoken in recent weeks are calling for peace. Last week, the D.C.-based Organization of American States discussed the problem and issues to bring out the lukewarm statement supporting the Venezuelan government. Today, the foreign ministries of the Union of South American Nations have called an emergency meeting. The meeting will tell us about how far the South Americans are or not willing to go to talk about another matters for traditional considers to be sovereign, wrote Julia Swain, Director of Latin American Studies for the Council of Foreign Policies. Now to Sarah C. for exciting Disney news.
Thanks, Jasmine. Here I am in Magic Kingdom, right by Adventureland, getting ready to find a spot for the new daytime parade, Festival of Fantasy. It begins at 3 o'clock in Frontierland and makes its way to Main Street. It includes all of our fantasy characters, including our two newest princesses, Elsa and Anna. Speaking of Frozen, you can now finally purchase Frozen merchandise. You can purchase it over in the Emporium on Main Street in Magic Kingdom, Future Comforts in Animal Kingdom, Mouse Gears in Epcot, and Mickey's in Hollywood Studios, as well as Once Upon a Toy in Downtown Disney and World of Disney as well. Now, don't forget to get your merchandise quickly because the shirts, dolls, books, and phone cases are going to sell out quickly. Well, I'm off to go find a seat for the Festival of Fantasy. Back to you, Kaylin.
Tuning in to WKZ tonight. Have